Game is on. So, I would like to first get an applause for VR as a medium. Thank you very much for coming. My name is DJ, NYVR organizer and Chief Creative Officer of the Glimpse Group. This is NYVR. NYVR's mission statement is to simply grow and support the XR community in New York City. So thank you to everyone who has come tonight for another wonderful show. Starting with, I always like to ask, who is first time at NYVR? Raise your hand. Welcome. Awesome. Hope to see you many more times. Okay, I'm going to go through housekeeping. I actually have a little bit extra housekeeping stuff tonight, but then we will get right into our amazing presenters. So first off, our sponsor, the Glimpse Group, provides a space tonight. Thank you very much for the folks upstairs. Second, thank you to all of our team of volunteers, Anthony, Jean, and Steve. Everyone's here tonight, really helpful in just all the logistics of running this event and finding people to speak. So thank you so much for everyone's help. Just a reminder, we do live broadcast these events, thanks to Jimmy Giliberti, another one of our volunteers. The YouTube link is in the description of the meetup, and then it's saved in YouTube so you can go back and see previous events. I have zero audio video quality on it, so don't make fun of me. The NYVR Collaboration Group, for all of the newbies here, NYVR Collaboration we've been doing for a long time, and it's a system that's meant for people who are looking to get into the industry to team up and work on a project. So if you were trying to figure out how to get into the industry and you'd like a portfolio piece of some sort, hit me up afterwards. What I do is I typically will pair a developer with an artist and maybe a project manager and set them off on a mission. I think I actually have two names in there, and I'm looking for a couple more to pair them up with. And then I have one active team that's actually doing a project in partnership with Glimpse. And we are building a POC for people on the autism spectrum. And Jackie is in the house, one of our partners there. There she is. So very excited to see where that goes. All right, future presenters and any XR startups, we're always looking to have more people talk. Specifically, we're looking for some more diversity up on the stage. As well as some connections and involvement to the online world of Meta Horizon and VR Chat. I know a couple of folks have been saying, we're disconnected from those communities, and I want them to have a space in here too. So on the diversity, we do have a lady from XR Women that's coming, that's awesome, and I already got lined up Aaron Sorrells, who hosts a comedy club in Meta Horizon, which is super cool, and he's actually coming in from Michigan to talk about it in July, I think. So, making my ways to meet the desires of future presenters. I'm adding a little bit in the news to this housekeeping portion of the meetup. I was really excited to see the first one about Quest 3 being provided on airlines. I think that's really an awesome use case, and especially because it's non-gaming, and very excited to see where that goes. And also that Google is now really starting to get a little bit more details on the headsets that they're coming out with. And with slowdowns from HTC and Pico, it's good to see new folks coming into the space alongside Meta. So, all good. Another thing in the news, this one's actually a little close to home. So, Glimpse partnered with Yale Medical. Some of you might know we have a platform that teenagers can do support groups. We just finished a very successful pilot with their gender clinic for transgender youths, and basically it was very, very successful. And we're just looking to share that information with other similar types of groups and try and scale it. So if anyone is connected into that world and might have some connections to not-for-profits that might be interested, hit me up afterwards. But really amazing, just all of the data that they collected, and it's great. Okay, XR Guild partners in the New York City XR space have an upcoming event on May 1st. Hit this QR code to get to the party full. And I think Gene is here, some other XR Guild folks, but that should be an amazing event. Next month, we are doing Art in VR, again for newbies. We do an annual kind of expo, so for May, we won't do presentations. I just fill the room with artists with VR content, and you go around and check stuff out. It's super fun. I have about 15 people signed up, and I can fit about 20. So if you know any VR artists or immersive artists that want to share what they've been working on, hit me up. I'd love to pack out the whole room. The April 19th, Niantic, this is still going on, right? Yep, okay. So Niantic 8th Wall is a workshop, and hit up Kevin and Peter. Okay. And we have some friends at AIXR. They're doing a survey. I don't know if you saw it on the way in, but it would be great if folks could fill out that survey for them. And to bribe you, I went and reached out to Ryan, our friend up in Boston. He just launched his game, Mythic Realms. He had presented here in the past, and he donated a couple of keys to his game for free. So if you fill out the survey and get back to me, we'll get you a free pass to his game, which is super cool. It's mixed reality. It's awesome. That's a little more about it. We're going to keep on going. Okay. And then the other thing that was at the front door, I'd like to find out from the community members what VR experiences you've seen lately that you really enjoyed. So if you've seen something cool, hit that QR code. It'll get put onto this list. And this is updated from last month. And I tend to highlight the new or the up-and-coming things. So a couple weeks ago, there was the Poly Awards. So Vivaldi kind of did a suite. That's down here. And Moss VR got on the board, and Emperor got on board. So take a picture of this, and I'm giving you some homework. Okay? And I think this is the last one, last housekeeping. We do have a LinkedIn page. If you're not part of the LinkedIn page, click that link, and we do have a lot more information on that than even the Meetup page. Okay, I'm out of breath. All right, Lauren, come on up. We have just a quick announcement from Lauren.
How's it going? Very quickly, I just want to let everyone know about what we've been doing. So we have a Unity development toolkit called Growth to Core. And we've been doing workshops with colleges and universities and different working groups for the past couple months. They've been super successful, so we want to make sure that if anyone else wants to do one, to hit us up. It's really great for students, people just getting into XR/Unity, but it's also really good for experienced Unity developers who have want to move something into VR or MR. Or even proficient XR developers like you guys probably, who just want to be able to use a tool to make their lives easier. So hit me up if you're interested. We'd be happy to come and do a virtual or in-person workshop anytime. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, with that, we're going to get to the meat of the show, and we're going to start with Kevin and team. So come on up.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Hi, I'm Kevin. I am one of the founders of CustomerXR. These are my business partners, Brian and Chris. Our core business right now is that we work as professional John Wick imitators for parties, corporate events, really anything. We'll take anything. So TJ said, all right, you get one joke. That's it, guys. That was it. It's a good one. So really quickly, I'm going to talk about something non-XR related, literally 15 seconds. I am founder, with two gentlemen over there, of a company we started 11 years ago. We worked in telecommunications, and we saw a burgeoning trend, a wave really, of US call centers who were going to be forced to move to a cloud-based environment. And it was a very niche technology back then. And the idea was, if we could build out a core consulting practice and help those people make that move into a technology they didn't understand, we would corner that, and we did, very successfully. We've been very lucky. And 2 years ago, I met these two young gentlemen, and a year ago, Chris here brought me to my first VR meetup. And that was the night that I had that sort of epiphany, that I was seeing the same thing again, where there were on an expedient of companies out there who were going to be forced to have an XR roadmap if they wanted to connect with their customers. And clearly, and you guys know this better than anybody, none of them know how to do that. And right there, my two partners and I, we made a serious financial commitment, low seven-figure commitment over the next 2 years, to build out an agency that could help corporate logos do just that. That's the spiel. This is the Q&A forum. As long as it has nothing to do with the John Wick joke, please text this, and then DJ will read out questions at the end. So the idea behind CustomerXR is obviously we want to connect major US companies and brands, organizations, to the power of an immersive experience. The mission statement is obviously there. You guys can read it. I mean, they can. It's right there. But that was funny in the John Wick thing, wasn't it? Everyone in this room knows this. 5 years from now, every major brand, no matter what they do, healthcare, retail, hospitality, everyone is going to be building out a presence in obviously the Meta ecosystem, as well as Apple's, as well as who else knows what Google comes to the market with. And the idea is I could put together a team that could build low-cost proof of concepts so that we can sell it to the C-suite, and we can show them the power of what XR can be. And then we dovetail that into bringing those applications to partners all around the country who can do niche applications, or maybe heavy lifting ones, and we just project manage that. And it seems obvious because our current roster of clients with Cloudwings, which is our parent company, are all chief customer experience officers. So we instantly can have those conversations. And it was a natural fit. I'm going back to the script now. He's so mad I went off script. That was the original idea. Chris and Brian had started Pioneer VR, which we're doing just building those applications. And the general idea, Chris spent a lot of time on this, and we're going to stick with this, is to take those two ideas and put it together in CustomerXR. We're back on track. Okay. I'm going to hand it off to Chris.
Sure.
Stay on script.
So this slide is a bit about the process that we believe is going to be a key to pushing this all forward. It all starts with changing these narrative behind XR with a lot of these brands. A lot of these companies, like Kevin said, they've never thought about XR. They don't even know the possibilities behind XR, what it can do. So it all starts with just teaching them, showing them, and getting them acquainted with the technology. The way that we do so is by building these low-cost proof of concepts in-house, just to kind of show them and give them that wow factor. I think a lot of the people that have never tried VR, if you show them something really simple, they get amazed by it. Even though a lot of us here have seen something a lot better. they get amazed by it. So that wow factor and the proof of concepts really helps get them excited, and then they can help sell it up to the C-suite, which gets a bigger commitment, where we then go on to the next step, which is where we build an enterprise-grade application and bring in trusted partners to do so. So we believe that this kind of process could help handhold these business leaders to integrate XR from a point where they've never even thought about using it to a point where it's successfully integrated into their company. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah. Oh, that was it? Nope. So this is a quick stat. This is actually from yesterday. We just wanted to throw it in. It's a little bit ad hoc. But a month ago, Ad Age, Advertising Age magazine, they came out with their top 10 picks for e-commerce trends in 2025, ranked 1 to 10. That's top 10 list star. Number one, obviously, is something to do with AI. Yeah, we got it, AI. I can happily send this out to everyone in the group too. I have downloaded it as a PDF. Number two was literally VR, AR are here to stay. And then it went on to all the compelling reasons why every major brand is gonna have an XR roadmap really soon. Now I'm out. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. This is the guy who actually makes everything, so we're gonna give him a shot.
All right, so we have demos here. There's a tryout today, and all of those were made mostly with my hands. So, my name is Brian. I'm going to give you just a brief rundown of my history so you can see how I fit into all of this and why I do what I do. I have over a decade of experience, almost 15 years, but professionally only about a decade. Various tech practices from hardware, software, maintenance management, graphic design, audio engineering, and lots of game development. That's how I ended up here. My journey began with this team when I met Chris while working at VR World. Some of you may have heard of that before. It was the arcade on 34th Street, one of the biggest on the East Coast. I was the lead technician there, and I actually developed my first VR game and had it running on the floor there. It was amazing. It was a dream come true. Unfortunately, they closed at the beginning of 2023, and Chris came to me. He called me and he said, "Brian, I got an offer you can't refuse." He said, "Hey, you wanna come work for me in Pioneer VR?" I said, "Yes." So we started working together. Got our first deal with Egress Pros while he was at the networking event. He made it happen, and then I made the tech stuff happen, and you're gonna see what that looks like today. It was a lot of work, but it was very fun. He was taking game development skills and turning them into something that can be more useful on a practical level outside of entertainment. And what I feel about that personally is, I think everyone's tired of the legacy advertisement medium, and I think this can be a very fun way to bring people back into being interested in being sold something when you can have fun and be impressed about it. I often am very, I'll check out your VR XR app, whether it's in a headset or on a phone. Yeah, I'm interested, I want to see it. A lot of people do also. And the success stories we have here, we have 4 major ones and a smaller one that you will get to check out later as well. Kitchen remodeling, you get to design your own kitchen. Bath fitter, remodel your own bathroom, you get to do it in VR. RoofMax is a little bit different. RoofMax shows off a product working at a fast-forwarded, I don't know how to describe that. It's in fast-forward so you can see it happening, because in reality that product takes longer to work, but that's explained. Make sure we cover every angle so that the user is not confused about what they're being communicated about. Extended reality is going to be a very, very deep part of our lives in the future. All that cyberpunk stuff we see is probably going to be real to a degree. It'll be as part of our lives as our smartphones.
Just really quickly, they did those 4 applications in the last year. They did it in Unreal, sorry. Can we cut this? Is this going on? They did it in a year with no completely self-taught. We threw stuff, and the first thing they say is no, and then 10 minutes later, Brian is explaining to me, why do you need it in a month? He's like, give me like 6 weeks. literally, there's nothing I've given them thus far that they have not been able to figure out how to build themselves. Very impressive. They deserve a lot of credit.
I never went to college.
There's a quick kind of like sizzle reel.
Okay. What you're seeing here is the hub app that I put together of all the apps we have under CustomerXR right now. So that intro part was you can just touch a logo and it'll take you directly to the app. The first one here is the fire simulation. You get to experience what it's like to nearly burn to death if you don't have an egress, which is that. Then it shows you, hey, this is what happens if you have an egress. You get to escape the fire. And of course, the important part is that you get to interact with it. You actually get to open the door yourself, which is the point. The whole point is the immersion and the interaction. And we make sure we're able to, make sure that's the part we focus on the most. This here, I don't think it's shown in the cut, but you're able to pick up a fire extinguisher ball and throw it into the fire. So you get to test that out too. This is our hotel, luxury hotel proof of concept. So every season doesn't exist. That was a fake brand I made just to prove that we can do it. We use 360 images of various locations around the world inside of the actual hotels. They're running at 8K. You can't see that here, but in the headset you will. Just poke a location you want to visit, and it teleports you straight to that location. Also, a very important thing, again, I highlighted immersion is important. A 360 image does not have sound, so I added 3D sound. I just put sound of water over there, people talking over here, it brings it more to life. This is a conference room in the same app. Essentially, you get to check out the entire real grounds of the hotel. Now, I think we're going to cut to another app. Yeah, okay, so we're back at the hub, now we're going to check out roof. So this one I was telling you about, it's a little different. Right now you have roof shingles that are supposed to be represented as, broken, you see the wood under it, they're nasty. Boom, here's your magic roof spray. And it brings your, you'll see that it brings your roof shingles back to life, there you go. So they flatten out. Again, this is fast forward in real life, probably take a couple hours for it to set in, but in a narration that is explained. It shows how dirty it is when you do a real roof replacement, and you get to actually spray it yourself. And that's all hand tracking, there's no control. We try to stick to that. Because at the end of the day, for these business apps, the target audience is probably your average person who isn't using VR every day. So we have experienced with the first iterations of our app that there were people having trouble with the controllers, not knowing how to interact with that. It's not intuitive for them. It's not natural. When you just do hand tracking, and we build the interactions with hand tracking in mind, it's super simple. They will have the intuitive way to interact, whether it's to grab something or touch something, super basic. The beauty of this avenue is that we don't have to get too complicated with how things work.
Yeah, like he touched upon, some of our design philosophies that we have are very much focused on making these as seamless as possible for first-time users. So all this stuff is built for people that have never tried VR. For example, that Kitchen Savers app you just saw, they use that at trade shows and stuff. People walk up to their booth and they're like, oh, what is that? I'm gonna try it. And instead of having to be like, okay, this is the controller, this is the button that does this, those experiences are cool for us, but for someone that's just walking by, it's just like, I don't really want to try it anymore. So we built this stuff just so you can just put it right on people. They're immersed, perfect sales pitch every time. Another design philosophy we have is voiceovers. Something as simple as that could go a long way because you get to touch upon all the certain aspects of the product that the companies want to touch on, as well as just guiding people through it and telling them what to do and making sure that they're going through it in one sequence. So there's just a couple of design philosophies we have that we follow to try and make these very wide-reaching and available to anyone to try it, even if they're unfamiliar with the technology. We have this QR code if you guys want to scan it. It goes to a page on our website where that trailer is located, and we're going to be putting our link to the app once it's on the Meta Store. It should be in the next few days, and then you'll be able to download the app on your own headset and try it out. We also have this QR code for partnerships. Like we said earlier, the whole process of, we first build a proof of concept, but once we have that enterprise budget and an agreement to make something on the next level. We want to bring in some other partners, so that's you guys. So if you guys want to scan that, you can submit some work, and we'll try and identify what niche you have, and then we bring you in when the time is right. We also have these even more QR codes. If you guys want to scan to connect with us, or you can just come talk to us after. But these all link to our LinkedIn's. So that's it. So thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you very much. Awesome. And Kevin, thank you for mentioning this. So the way we do Q&A is after each speaker, this QR code will pop up. If you have any questions, hit it up. It comes to my phone, and at the end, I'm going to bring all the speakers back up. And
We had one quick question come in. Whoever used the QR code first, you win a prize. But the question was, is there a happy hour across the street at the Westbury after this? The answer is yes.
Hope to see everyone there. All right, and with that, will you come on up? You're the next contestant on NYVR.
The starting point for what I was going to discuss today was based on as much enthusiasm that we have about all things XR. The reality is this shit is really hard to sell, and there's no budgets for it. Those budgets aren't getting any bigger, so how the hell do you sell it? And my biggest pet peeve when you see someone